One thing that we need to do before we move forward is we want to go ahead and take away the conditions that allow the ball to bounce off the left wall and the right wall. Right? That was just to get started and to test our program. But now that we have our ball programmed to bounce off of the paddles, we want to go ahead and take that condition off so that the ball goes right through this wall. Right? And right through this wall here. So if we go back to our ball code, you can take a look and which condition is it? Well, it's this one here that changes the X position and this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and just unhook those, keeping the ones that bounce off the top wall and the bottom wall, my left paddle and my right paddle, and I'm going to throw away these that bounce off the left and right wall. And let's go ahead and see if the ball goes off the screen. Yes, it does. And so now the task at hand is to get the score to go up when the ball goes off the screen like that. Right? When it goes past the paddle and touches this left wall or the right wall. And so to get that started, our paddles each need to have a score variable. Right? So let's come over here to the button, go to Data, say Make Variable, and I'm going to say blue score. And let's go ahead and use an underscore, right? Blue score. And I'm going to make sure that you don't click for all sprites, that we say only for the button 2 sprite, okay? Because that's the only sprite that needs it. And then we're going to do the same thing here for our button 3, and I'm going to say orange score. And say for this sprite only, and say OK. Alright, so I got my 2 score variables. Now I need to increment them or decrement them. Increment, remember, means to add 1 to, and decrement means to subtract 1 from. Okay? So when the ball goes off the screen, I want to increment, right, increase the blue paddle score by 1. Okay? So we can do that over here with the ball. And we just need to check another condition here, right? And of course, we check a condition by using the if statement, and we say if the ball's y position, right, is, where's the ball? The x position, right? I guess we could say is greater than 245. Okay. So let's come over here to operators and say if the ball's y position, which is under motion, is greater than 245, then I want to increment the blue score's score. Right? Well, since I said the score is only for the blue button sprite, my ball doesn't have access to it. So that was a mistake. Let me come on back here, and maybe I can say delete the blue score variable. And I'm going to make a new blue underscore score variable, and I'm going to say for all sprites. That was a mistake. And so let me say OK. And then I'm also going to make another one, and I'm going to make orange underscore. Well, before I make the orange variable, let me go ahead and delete the current orange variable. Okay, so let me make a new one and say orange underscore score for all sprites. Say OK. And we come over here. And we want to go ahead to first start off is set those scores to a value. So we're going to do that here right under the green flag, not in the forever loop, right? But right in the beginning when we first start the program. And we're going to set the blue score to 0, and we're also going to set the orange score to 0. Because that's what their scores are, right? They're 0, 0. And then in here, if the ball goes off this position, right, greater than 245, where he currently is at right now, we want to increment or change by 1, right? So let's change the blue score by 1. And then we want to make sure if the ball goes off in this area here, that we also change the score for the orange paddle, right? So we can do that by holding down Shift, clicking and duplicating code, and say if the Y position, let me go ahead and take this off here, is less than, let me see here, the ball's Y position is less than, and I think it was at 215, negative 215. Yes, negative 215. So let's say if it's less than negative 215, then we're going to change the orange score by 1. And let's go ahead and test that. So let's first test the orange score. Ooh, that didn't work. So if the x, ooh, I'm sorry, I have here y position, right? But of course I don't care about the y position. I care about the x positions, right, on both of those conditional statements. So let me grab the x position and put it in here. Throw away these pieces of code and run it. And again, let's test the blue paddles score. I'm sorry, the orange paddle score. Ooh, that didn't work either. So if we said if the y position is less than 215, oh, it did work, right? So our orange score is now like going up, and if you can see that again, you see how the score is just continuing to go up. Well, we know that our score is working, so we're going to fix that bug in the next video.